What's up, everybody? We're back. This is episode 21, the Week 17 Outlook, and we got some stuff to talk about. We're going to touch briefly on college football, the playoff on Friday, New Year's Eve. Talk about that real quick. We can start off with that, actually.
Yeah, we'll start off with it. We were just arguing before we even got on the camera. He loves Michigan. It's a silly goose. You have a lot to learn, my child.
You're an idiot.
But either way, Georgia's going to win. But
No.
I like the under. I'm not going to take Georgia. I think it's a 6.5 point line.
Yeah, that's why I like Michigan.
I could see you taking Michigan plus like 6.5, 7. But
I think Michigan can win outright. They can.
Okay, Michigan has no offense. But regardless, I like the under in this game.
Georgia has no offense. If you say Michigan has no offense, Georgia has no offense. I say their offenses are equivalent. Their defense, Georgia's defense, tad bit better, obviously.
So what points you to Michigan?
I think they're going in with more of a fire, and their coach is better. Harbaugh's a better coach.
Is he?
I think so.
This is the first successful year he's had.
Yeah, it took him. You got to get used to it.
It's been like 6 years.
It's been like 8 years, 8 or 9 years.
How much longer do you need, buddy?
He doesn't anymore. He made it.
The under could be 30. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored here.
Yes.
But, with the way I've been going lately, that means there should be 70 points scored. So
That's also true.
I don't know.
I'm taking Michigan either way, with points. I'm going to bet him with the points, but I think Michigan wins the game.
I'll be taking the under. I think Georgia wins the game. I think Michigan, I think everybody in the country is going to be betting Michigan with the points. So do with that as you will.
I'll just bet money line.
And the next game, Bama, Cincinnati.
That's 13 and a half, 13
and a half. That I think could be a very high scoring game. Although Alabama is missing their best receiver, John Mechie. Well, not really their best receiver. I think Jameson Williams is better, but
close. Very
but
close.
It does hurt. But also,
bad.
Then again, you're Alabama. You're going to have somebody who can step up.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the over/under is set at, but off the top of my head,
I'm pretty sure it was like 50.
Over. If it's in the 50s, I'm taking.
I think it's like 50. I gotta look it up. Keep talking.
If it's in the 50s, I'm taking the over there. I think
it was high 50s, low 60s.
Cincinnati's a good football team. Don't get me wrong, but they played in the AAC, I think it is. The best competition they played all year was Houston or Notre Dame before they even got good, as Jared likes to say. I just think it's going to go way over. Bama themselves could put up 45
easily.
All you need.
Cincinnati's defense is not in.
It's okay. They have the best cornerback in the country. Is that Saucy Gardner kid?
57 and a half.
Sauce Gardner? Yeah, I'm taking that over.
You take the over.
I'm taking that over. I think Bama's going to put up a bunch of points. Even though since he has the best corner in the country, I think
they'll just
guys, it's Nick Saban in the playoffs.
They'll just avoid him.
Yeah, it's Nick Saban in the playoffs. Like, what are we doing here?
You're not stopping Alabama's run game either. Cincinnati is not stopping Alabama's run game.
No, not at all. If you and Bryce Young might have 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. If you
he
might
run the ball for 200 yards.
Right. If you put your hard-earned money against Nick Saban in the playoff atmosphere,
Cincinnati,
you have a big set of balls. I'll tell you that much. A lot bigger than my balls.
We say that right now, and then Cincinnati's going to go out and beat them.
And win outright.
30.
And the guys with big balls will profit. And I won't.
And they will.
So that's it. We're just going to touch upon it. That's all we got to say. We're both going to pick Bama, obviously.
Yeah.
I can't imagine there's many people in the country saying Cincinnati's going to win outright.
Well, I think they need this. They need to prove that...
They already proved it. They made the playoffs.
Well, no. They need to prove to the world that these not mid-major teams, but lower-level college teams
the
should not be in the playoffs.
Non-Power 5 conferences.
Exactly. Should not be in the playoffs.
That they're not a joke.
If they expand the playoff bracket to 8 teams, which I think they should, sure, you can put Cincinnati in there. If Houston didn't have that loss late in the season, they could be in there.
I think it should be...
Houston beat Auburn today, and we lost money.
I think it should kind of be, in my opinion, I think it should be a system very much like the NFL. The NFL, from each conference, 7 teams make it.
Yeah, but you can't. There's so many conferences.
Yeah,
you can't do the conference system in college.
No, I get that, but I'm saying it should be something where the top, say that the 1 and 2 seed get a bye, and then everybody else has a kind of a.
They already have such a far break. When's the?
That's the thing. You don't you're a college football team. You don't need a month between your playoff games. You don't get a month between playoff games in the NFL.
No.
Or in high school. Why does college?
It's just easy. It's easier to work it all out for them.
But first of all,
there's so many damn teams.
You
got so many damn bowl games. From a business
perspective, it would make so much money for a college if they let in, say, 8 or 10 teams. College
I agree.
So much more money.
The playoff bracket should be 8 teams.
Also, while we're on it, I want to touch upon the Auburn game today. We both bet Auburn. I'm an Auburn fan.
So bad.
I'm going to put it right here on episode 21. I'll come back to it. If TJ Finley is the starting quarterback for the Auburn Tigers next year, I'm hopping ship. I'm hopping ship. I could not watch that man play one more quarter of football to save my goddamn life. He wouldn't start in the high school team that I coached.
He was awful.
And that's a promise.
He played awful.
He's horrible.
Yeah, he is. If they...
I could go on forever, but we're going to move on to the NFL before I get on a rant.
Sucked.
So we got a couple topics to touch upon from last week. We'll keep it short so we can get into next week. One thing I want to talk about, I've been very vocal that I'm a Joe Burrow fan, huge Joe Burrow fan. I actually got his jersey for Christmas. He had his nice black jersey, orange stripes. I look so tough wearing it.
You look like a bitch, man.
Okay. But 525 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. Absolutely rubbed it in the Ravens' face. They ran the score up
with a depleted secondary.
It's still an NFL team. Every team is depleted at this day and age in COVID.
Well, no, but they literally were missing their six DBs.
Dude, the Jets were starting 2 safeties they signed this week.
Yeah, it's the Jets.
Off other practice squads.
Yeah, it still probably did better.
I mean, no, I don't know. I mean, they won. They played the Jaguars, so.
They played the Jags.
But
didn't Jared hammer the Jets? He's like, hammer the Jags.
No, he hit the Jets.
Oh, he hit the Jets?
Yeah.
I thought Jets.
I don't care if you're playing a high school team. 525 yards, 4 touchdowns.
You know, I agree. I mean, he also ripped them for 417 last time they played, too. So.
Yeah. The Bengals are going to be a problem if they get a good matchup.
That will be brought up later.
I think if they play a team like the Patriots, I think they could run into trouble. Because I think they're just going to get outcoached.
It's a matchup thing.
Yeah, they're a matchup-dependent team, in my opinion.
I agree.
But either way, it's a precedent of its own. I'm saying it right now. Joe Burrow is a future Hall of Famer. If I could bet it, I would. I would put my life savings on it. Next topic, Gavin. Baker Mayfield. I know this was a Christmas night game, I believe. 21 for 36, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns.
How were they still in the game? Like, okay, beyond from Baker Mayfield, how did they almost win that game?
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
That makes, like, I was talking about with my dad how the line. What was the line? 6.5 or 5.5?
No, the line. I think the line was 8.
No. It was low. It was too low. It was like 6 because I bet it. I had it in a parlay, and it was 6.5.
No, I'll tell you what. It wasn't because it was 7.5 because I had the Packers in a 6-point teaser at 1.5, and I covered by half a point.
Okay, either way, 7.5, and it was in Lambeau, and the Browns are hurt, and Baker Mayfield can't throw the ball. Yeah, the spread. How the hell was the spread?
Sketchy line.
Such a sketchy line. One of those trap lines.
Yeah, those are one of those eye-raising lines. You're like, that makes no sense.
I even lowered it.
I
lowered the line to 4.5. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, it's a sketchy line, trap line. Nope.
Yep.
And for me, they went by 2.
I think I was texting Dom because Dom's a Brown fan. I think this is very comparable to Sam Darnold's Seeing Ghosts game. That Seeing Ghosts game was the downfall of Sam Darnold in New York.
Yeah, but they kept it close.
His team's a lot better than the Jets.
Sure.
But I think this is the start of. I mean, he's already had downfall, but I think this is the nail in the coffin.
He's
like,
also
right,
still beat to hell.
I get that, but like, it's week 16. Like, everybody's playing with some sort of injury, some sort of hurt.
I don't know. That guy has gotten hit so many times.
Can I give a critique about him? The football nerd in me and the quarterback coach in me. If you watch his feet and his footwork,
yeah, it's terrible.
From now compared to his rookie year, he's regressed so much. He's overstriding. He's trying to throw it like it looks like he's throwing a baseball. He's not bringing his back half through. Like that first pick he threw, he rolled his ankle when he threw the ball. He rolled his back ankle as he was throwing. Like I've never seen that before. So he needs.
I say give him another chance to start the year.
He's a talented guy.
Next year, give him a chance to start, and then you make your move halfway through the season. Maybe you draft a guy this year.
Develop him.
Then you develop him behind him.
Well, what if? Here's a thought. What if they sent Baker and draft capital to Seattle for Russell Wilson? Because the Browns are in win now mode essentially. Their roster is built to win now.
Would Seattle do that?
It depends. If Seattle's in a full rebuild mode, like we think they might be, and then why not? You get draft capital. That's how you start a rebuild. And you get a 5th-year quarterback in a take it or leave it deal, right? So it's his 5th-year option. You either prove it and we'll re-sign you, or you don't, and we'll rebuild again. We'll restart.
That's true.
I think that's a perfect dream scenario.
That is a good scenario.
It's a good trade scenario for both. I'm not going to take credit for that, though. I'm going to give that credit to Dom. Dom did come up with that trade scenario.
Okay, fair enough.
And I actually love it.
I like that.
It might be one of the smartest things
Dom
Parker's
trade scenario, Dom.
Yeah. That was intelligent. Say more stuff like that.
Smart. It was very smart.
Chargers lost to the Texans 41-29.
The Texans, the damn Texans. I don't get the Texans.
Davis Mills right now is the best looking rookie quarterback, including Mac Jones, the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, last 2 weeks, yeah. I'll take that.
if you told me that 6 months ago, I'd say you're drunk, and
he was the
you need to get
sixth
drug
quarterback
tested.
taken in the draft.
Yeah,
That's funny as shit.
I mean the Texans play hard.
They do,
but
but they're
they're not they're not a talented
atrocious.
football
They're
team.
atrocious.
Like Rex
On
Burkhead,
paper, they're
Rex
atrocious.
Burkhead had 100 rushing yards.
He's a good running back, though. He just always gets
He
hurt.
is.
He's just always hurt.
But that shows you right there. I mean, the Chargers defense giving up 41 points to the Texans. I know the Chargers are going to be drafted next year.
Corner or linebacker.
Defense. No, they need to draft defensive tackle and middle linebacker.
That's why I said corner. I think they need a corner more than they need a
Their pass
defensive
defense is
tackle.
like 6th in the league. Their run defense is dead last.
They're still getting ripped apart, though.
Yeah, it's bad. Bad loss for Justin Herbert and the Chargers, but it is what it is. You move on. Every contending team has one of those. Bills. The Bills beat the Patriots 33-21.
1-1.
Christian and I saw that one coming, huh? On the last episode.
1-1.
The Bills, and here's the thing, like, granted that Mac Jones looked horrible. Again, I won't get into that. Josh Allen made a couple game-changing plays.
There were some awful calls in that game, I'd like to add.
Oh, my God.
That should have been a flag upheld when he grabbed him out of bounds. Clearly out of bounds. What was that shit?
God forbid a call doesn't go the Patriots way. How's it feel?
Oh, Zach Wilson did that. Holy hell, you'd be
Yeah, but the
lighting
Jets
tires.
never get any calls. The Patriots have gotten calls for the last 20 years.
That
God forbid one call doesn't go the Patriots' way. It's
I actually have text
NFL
messages. I have text messages
NFL
from
refs.
him about it. He's like, "Yeah, these refs are awful. This is unbelievable." So he actually agrees with me. He's just
Good.
doing
The
this-
Patriots
doing this for
deserve
show.
it. When the ball bounces your way for 20 years, it's going to bounce the other way eventually.
Well,
Everything that goes up must come
shit.
down.
Everyone's been finding that fucking team.
Patriot downfall. To think that we were talking about the Patriots as a Super Bowl contender 4 weeks ago blows my mind.
If they're in the playoffs, they're a contender. Maybe that's all it takes.
Absolutely not. Not with Mick Cheeseburger at quarterback. Anyway, so speaking of Mick
Big Mac's
Cheeseburger,
gonna.
speaking of Mick Cheeseburger, we're gonna rank our Rookie of the Year contenders. Offensive Rookie of the Year, because Defensive Rookie of the Year is Micah Parsons, and it's not close. So Gavin, out of Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Mac Jones, rank them 1 to 3. As of right now, at the end of Week 16, your Rookie of the Year standings go.
After the last
Mac
2
Jones.
weeks.
Mac Jones, and Mac Jones. Oh, come on, dickhead.
After the last 2 weeks, I'm gonna move Jamar above Mac.
Oh!
I said Jamar to start the year, but he fell apart.
never seen that
But
coming.
he fell apart.
I would have never seen that coming. What time are we at? Because that's going on TikTok. 13:42.
Max 2. Waddle's 3.
My
But we
pen
got
died.
2 more weeks. Here.
We got it.
We got 2 more weeks, so Mac will make his turnaround.
You know, Gavin, for once in your life, I agree with that take. I agree with that. And listen,
That's how you know it's a bad take.
Jalen Waddle's going to set the rookie receptions record. That's nice and cool. You get force fed. I don't care.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase has 1,100 and some change yards, has 10 touchdowns as a rookie. Clearly the top option on that team, to the point where we've seen T. Higgins blow up the last couple weeks because they're bracketing Jamar Chase and putting a safety over top of him and giving him
And he
extra
also
attention.
helps the chemistry that they had prior.
That 100%.
Yeah.
But Jamar Chase, in my mind, especially with Mac Jones the way he's played the last 2 weeks, 2 picks the last 2 games, Jamar Chase has to be one. In my honest opinion, I want you to agree with me.
2 more weeks.
Mac Jones has been one of the leading reasons why they have lost the last 2 games.
Well,
he laid a donut in the first half against the Colts with 2 picks, and he threw 2 picks and was not efficient.
They're also no. I agree.
Thank
He's been playing terrible,
Thank you.
but they're also not putting him in the best situations.
What do you mean? They put him in the best situation all
They're
season.
letting him throw the ball when he's only throwing the ball when they need to throw the ball. They're not going out there in first down throwing the ball. They're going out there in first down, they're running the ball. Second down, second and 8, they're running the ball again. Third down, third and whatever, because they lose yards on every.
He threw 35 times this week. And
but he's 80% of those were in long yardage, known situations where you're just not going to run the ball. Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I bet the Bills and cashed in, by the way.
Fuck you.
But it went 14 for 35. That's
someone who's supposed to be. He played terrible.
Someone who's supposed to be very efficient.
You're stating yes, he played terrible. We covered that.
Can we also note it? Can we also mention that the Bills are missing their best corner, and Mac Jones still went 14 for 35?
I said he played terrible.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It takes
Still better than Zach Wilson.
Most Patriots fans can't.
Except
do
for
that.
last week. Zach Wilson actually played good last week.
62-yard touchdown. Where the hell did
that
that
run,
come
I don't
from?
know.
Pulled that out of his ass.
Yeah, he did. He'll never do that again.
All right, let's get into next week. What do we got for next week?
Okay, we're going to do potential Super Bowl teams. Teams that, like, where obviously we don't already know or have a chance. Well, I already know what teams I'm talking about, but we're going to see what he thinks.
Okay. So I don't know what teams we're talking about.
Titans.
I didn't see the list. So what's the question? Are they a legitimate Super Bowl threat?
Are they yes? Are they a Super Bowl threat? I'll give you my opinion right now while you think about it. 110%. If I'm in the AFC and I know Derrick Henry can be playing on that team, I think they might make it out of the AFC.
See,
At this point, I'm moving them to my third team in the AFC right now.
Behind who? The Bills and the Chiefs?
No, behind the Colts and the Chiefs. Well, Chiefs, then Colts, then Titans, then Bills.
So I'm going to say yes, but the reason I hesitated was because I don't know if I trust Ryan Tannehill or that defense.
I don't trust Ryan Tannehill one bit. Mike Vrabel, great coach.
But yes,
if Derrick Henry's back,
with Derrick Henry coming back,
go for it.
With that, because
rested,
as we've mentioned before, in cold weather elements, Derrick Henry adds that element of, oh my god, I don't want to tackle this behemoth.
And Tannehill hasn't been playing bad. He's been playing good enough to keep them in. Look what they've been winning. What are they?
AJ Brown looks like he's back and healthy finally. Yeah, they're 10-5.
Yeah, Julio is playing well.
So the fact they're 10-5 and AJ Brown has been in and out, Derrick Henry's been out.
Julio Jones missed 3 weeks.
Yeah. And they're still
they won two games with everybody
games.
out.
They're still winning games against the 49ers, who I think are a good football team.
Yeah.
So I gotta say yes. If they're getting Derrick Henry back, yes.
Okay, Cowboys. They're 11-4. They got the Cardinals this week.
I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna say that because, as we mentioned in prior episodes, they're very dependent on Dak Prescott. And while he played really well against the Washington football team the other night,
that was 56 points.
One, I don't trust
defense.
Mike McCarthy, to be honest.
That's fair.
And two, I think the NFC is loaded. And I know they're probably going to get a home playoff game for their first game.
Yes.
But do you think that Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy can go into Lambeau and win, say, in the NFC Championship game? Because I don't.
Mike McCarthy knows, at least. He knows Lambeau. He was there for how long?
He's not playing. So
but it's that added effect.
Right.
The knowledge.
You also don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to want to be his former coach?
No, Aaron Rodgers is going to shove it down Mike McCarthy's throat.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't see them as a legitimate threat. I don't see them. One, they play in a weak division. Two, we've seen them all year. They can't beat the good teams. They just beat up on the bad teams, a.k.a. the Washington football team.
Yes.
So I'm going to say no.
Okay, fair. Bills.
The Bills. Are the Bills a Super Bowl threat? I guess this is a two-part question because it depends which Bills team we're going to get.
That's
right.
Yeah.
If we get the Bills team that played against the Patriots this week and Josh Allen's clicking, the pass game's clicking, the defense can stop anybody, then I think, yes, I like the Bills preseason. I liked them last year as well. I think Josh Allen's getting hot, so I'm going to say yes ultimately. However, they scare me because they don't have a run game, which we know you need in cold weather situations.
Their run game is awful.
Yeah, they don't have a run game, and their run defense is historically bad.
Yeah. Which
teams like to do in the playoffs in cold weather. So they scare me, but I'm going to say yes.
Okay. The 49ers, they're 8-7. They got the Texans this week, so they're going to be. Hopefully, they should be 9-7.
So are they in the wild card picture right now?
Technically,
to be honest,
I think they're.
Because I don't know if they're the wild card right now.
I think they're a bubble team.
Are they a bubble team?
Yeah.
Standings.
I don't know. I think they can close it the season at 10-7. I think if they get in, I don't want to play them.
They are the 6th seed currently.
If they're in, I don't want to play them.
They'd be in LA against the Rams.
If I'm the Rams, I don't want to play them. No
I agree.
Way.
And I gave them as my dark horse pick last week to win the Super Bowl.
I'm riding with that.
But here's why I'm going to say no.
Really?
I know it's only been a week since I gave him as
Jimmy G, though. Jimmy G's thumb.
That's the thing.
That sucks.
Jimmy G's thumb, right? So Trey Lance is going to get, obviously, playing time for the next 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the situation Kyle Shanahan has to deal with. If Trey Lance balls out these next 2 weeks, do you go into the playoffs with Trey Lance?
No.
Or do you go into the playoffs with Jimmy Garoppolo, who has a banged-up thumb?
Jimmy G all day.
Now, say the playoff picture changes, and they don't play in a warm weather climate like L.A., say they have to go to Lambeau because they're the 7th seed. Well, that wouldn't happen because the one gets a bye. But say they have to go to a cold weather situation. Jimmy G's thumb, how's that going to hold up in the cold weather?
Well, we don't know exactly what's wrong with his thumb.
We don't. I don't know.
And that's also 2 weeks away.
It is. It scares me. I'm going to pass on this one. I'm going to say pass because I did give them as a Super Bowl dark horse. I'm not going to say no because I do like the football team, but I'm not going to say yes because Jimmy G's thumb scares me.
I'm saying one more. You kind of already answered it, so we don't really need to cover it. The Chargers.
Chargers, no.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Right.
I love Justin Herbert, obviously. Huge fan. They don't have the run defense to play in playoff football.
No, they don't.
And
Or pass defense.
I like Brandon Staley, his aggressiveness, but sometimes it's a little too much for me. As we saw in the Chiefs game, he went for it on 4th down 4 times, only converted once.
Mm-hmm.
Those 9 points came back to haunt them as they lost in overtime. So right now I think he's first-year head coach, needs to learn a little bit when to be aggressive, when not to be. So I'm going to go no.
All right. Now let's cover some other key games that weren't really mentioned. Those are mostly key games.
Oh, that was a good segment. I like that.
Yeah. Other key games. We got Rams at Ravens.
This is in my best bets. I have the Rams as a best bet.
I have them too.
That scares me. That means the Rams.
Dude, it's a 3.5 point spread. That seems like a trap spread.
That means the Rams are incredibly square. I guess it's contingent on who plays at quarterback. If it's Lamar, I'll probably still take it. I might be a little more hesitant.
I'm still riding with the Rams.
I think the Rams are. They played bad against the Seahawks, and Matthew Stafford honestly didn't play well against the Vikings last week.
Yeah, no.
Their defense bailed them out.
3.5 points is so low.
I'll probably buy the hook to 3.
Look at how bad the Ravens' defense got toasted.
I know.
The Rams can put up that many points. Look at their offense.
I know, and I still believe in Stafford.
The Rams.
He's just been cold lately, but I'll take the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams. They're my best bets. It just scares me as one of those trap lines, like you said.
That's what's awful.
But, I bet a bet.
So it's only 3.5, so if you bet that money line, you're still getting pretty decent odds.
Could definitely put them, what are they, minus 165 money line probably?
I think so.
Throw them in a 2-teamer parlay.
Yeah.
They're golden.
Throw them in a parlay with the Bills over the Falcons. Because that's in Buffalo.
That money line is going to be outrageous. That money line is going to be like minus 1,300.
Well, yeah, that spread's 14.5. Yeah.
So I'd probably...
You could lower that line.
I'd probably parlay them with... I don't even know.
Yeah, well, Bangles +5.
Yeah, Bengals a 5.5. I don't know.
Okay,
we'll get to that.
Raiders at Colts.
See, this depends if Carson Wentz plays because the NFL.
They're going to run the ball regardless.
Well, the NFL has changed their COVID protocols, so now it's 5 days of quarantine.
Right. He's not vaccinated, so I don't know if that affects him. I think he's still 10 days.
Well, did the COVID protocols for whatever the CDC said, did that change for unvaccinated people too, or did it stay?
I think so. No. I think that's still 10 days, 10 to 14 days.
Shit makes no sense.
They're not going to change that because they want people to get vaccinated. They're not going to help people that aren't vaccinated.
Right. So that's it.
Most likely.
So Carson Wentz probably won't play then.
Oh, they're going to run the ball a lot, and the Colts are 9-0 when Jonathan Taylor has over 100 yards.
Here's the thing that scares me, though, Gavin. Obviously, I would hope an NFL defensive coordinator realizes that if Carson Wentz is out, you're starting Sam Ehlinger, who stunk at Texas. He's their backup. You're obviously going to game plan against the run. I'd put 7 in the box at all time and run commit every single play. I'd just man up on the outsides and make Sam Ehlinger throw. So that's what scares me.
I don't know if they can make Carson Wentz look good. I think they can make Sam Ehlinger do okay.
Carson Wentz has actually been playing.
That's why I'm saying they're making him look good.
Let's give him credit.
Contrary to what we say,
I'm
not a big fan of Carson Wentz.
I'm not either, but still, we got to give him credit where credit's due. He's been playing a lot better.
Very well. Whatever.
But, got to go with the Colts here. But
I agree.
But whatever Derek Carr's over is, I would take Derek Carr's over.
Derek Carr's going to throw for 400 yards.
Yeah.
Probably.
Only thing, though, is, this is where I start to overthink shit. Because if the Colts' game plan is run, that chews clock, so Derek Carr doesn't get as many opportunities to throw. So then that affects his passing.
He's still going to throw the ball every time.
Oh, I would hope so.
He'll have 45-plus passing attempts.
Oh, yeah, probably.
All right, one more game. The Chiefs at the Bangles. I like this game a lot.
This is going to be... I hope this game is on national television because this game is going to be football porn. This game is going to be so much fun to watch.
Great.
Can I...
That's my game of the week. That's
my biggest game of the week. But you know what raises my eyebrow, guys? The total is set at 49.5.
That's in my best bets.
It's in mine, too. Which, again...
We having all the same best bets this week. What's your other one?
Bills-Falcons.
My other one's Bengals +5.
I have Bills-Falcons over 44. But it scares me, Gavin, because you think Bengals, who just put up 41 on the Ravens last week, you think Chiefs, who just put up 40 on the Steelers.
It's a 1 o'clock game on CBS, so I don't know if it's going to be on here.
Well, I'll stream it. That'll be a fun game.
That'll be a huge game.
But it scares me. Why is the total only 49.5? Do the math. That's seven touchdowns plus the hook.
Bad weather?
I don't think so.
I
hope not.
It's too early to tell.
I'll have to check the weather report. I mean, but it opened at 49. As soon as it opened, I almost took it. Obviously, it's gone up a half point. But, like, that to me is a no-brainer bet, and that's the one that makes me scratch my head.
It's a weird one.
Which is, that tells me that's going to be like a 24-21 ball game. 45 points.
I don't know about that, though. I just don't know.
The Chiefs' defense has been hit or miss. If Chris Jones plays, they could dominate the Bengals' offensive line, which is still the worst unit in football, or one of them.
But, I mean, they've been figuring it out. The Bengals have been making it work regardless. Joe Burrow's still been getting his throws. Hasn't been getting hit as much lately.
Right, he hasn't. And the Chiefs' secondary is horrible still.
Exactly. They'll pick them apart quick.
And the Bengals' defense isn't like anything special, and Pat Mahomes is clicking. So, like, why is it 49.5?
Hammer the over. I might even go to Rivers, move the over to like 54, and then go bet it like that. Holy shit.
Like, if I'm an odds maker, I'm setting that at 54.5.
At least. That's what I'm saying. Move it to 54 and go bet that shit.
I don't get it. I mean, it's my best bets.
Make some money.
I'm going to bet it. I'm definitely going to put that in a teaser. I'll tell you that right now. Get that at 43.5 in a teaser? Oh, my God.
All right, best bets.
I mean, my best bets I've already told everybody.
Yeah, me too. I'll just go through them again. Bengals +5. That's in Kansas City. Bengals Chiefs over 49.5. Obviously, we both discussed that. Might even move it to 54 or 55. And then Rams -3.5 at the Ravens.
I got Rams -3.5 by the hook to 3. Rams money line in a parlay as well. I got Chiefs Bengals over 49.5, which we just went over. I have Bills Falcons over 44. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills put up 42 on their own. Just need 3 points from the Falcons.
Like the Cowboys.
Although it is in Buffalo, so the fact that it's that low of a total tells me that they could be expecting bad weather. So this total is weather bearing. If it's good weather, take the over.
Lake effect snow, man.
That's what I'm saying. So if it's snowy, stay away from it. If it's good weather, hammer that over. Honorable mention, I was looking at Vikings-Packers over 47.5 in primetime on Sunday night.
I don't know.
The Packers' offense is clicking. The Vikings' defense
didn't
stinks.
put up that many points last week. Were they 25?
24.
And the Vikings are hit and miss. They'll put up 10 points, or they'll put up 35.
And the reason I didn't put it in was because I need to look at it more. I'm a big divisional game under during a second matchup. This is the second matchup, divisional game. Screams under, primetime game. So I've gone back and forth.
Or they'll each put up 50, but
right.
Who knows?
That's my point. So I mean, I didn't put it in there. I might not bet it, but I do. I want to give it some thought.
I would.
So we got any closing comments?
We're coming down to the end here with this season.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's wide open.
They're going to win. It's wide open. This is
open.
like we've said, like the last 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Most wide open I've ever seen.
As a football fan, this is awesome.
This is sick.
As a bettor, it sucks. But
yeah, we're getting hosed.
As a football fan, it's awesome. What more could you ask for than... So Nick Hansen tried to tell me today that the AFC stinks. I said, Nick, it's the first year in like 17 years they've had this many teams over 500 this late in the year.
I don't agree.
Right?
I don't agree with you.
It's the first time to like week 15 that only a certain number of teams have clinched or something like that in the AFC.
I think it's why. I mean, obviously the NFC's better.
His argument was...
But the AFC, I mean...
His argument was since it's more balanced, that means every team stinks and they're just beating each other. I said, or they're just
team's
good.
Better, yeah.
Or just the bottom teams are good and there's not one team dominating the top. Which is good. It's good for competitive nature.
Exactly.
So,
all right, well...
That's all we got.
Yeah, it covers it.
So, we'll be back next week, and next week is going to be our Week 18 outlook, last week of the regular season.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably talk about the college semi-playoff games next week as well. Hopefully I go 2-0, Gavin goes 0-2.
I'm going to go 2-0.
But thanks for watching. Come back next week.